Hey everybody, Animal Man here. Today we're going to learn how to identify cat tracks. And here's a trackway right here. We had a dusting of snow this morning. It's a perfect time to show you this. There's several things we look for. The first is called the track compression shape. If you look at the shape of the cat's track there, you see it's got the four toes. You know, it's walking this way. So you have four toes, but the overall shape of the whole track is a circle. And I'll kind of show you that with my finger here, so it's a circle. And if it had claws, you count the claws in this also. So there's the circle shape. That's our footprint. So cats are the only animal around here that has a circular compression shape for their track. A dog would be more like an egg shape, and you'd see claws in that. You'd see claws in the fronts and the backs. With a cat, you're not going to see claws, especially in the fronts, because cats use their retractable claws to kill, and they want to save those. They're never going to leave their claw marks on the front feet in a track. The rear claws show up once in a while in the tracks, and those are much duller, and you can tell it's the rear claws because the rear feet are smaller than the front feet. The front feet have to support the head of the cat, and also they use those for their weapons, so those feet are larger to support their weight and to make them a more efficient killer. But the back feet are smaller. You've got the rear claws sometimes. And the sometimes when they use them is if they're trying to get a better grip, like if it's slippery in the ice out here or the snow, or if they're at a standstill, all of a sudden they begin to run very quickly. They'll use them to dig in and get traction. So that's when those back or rear claws come up in the track. The rest of the time, though, they're clawless tracks, and you've got that round compression shape all the time. Now, here's something else that's really cool. That's definitely very distinctive of a way a cat walks. A cat walks with what's called a direct register. And what I mean by that is wherever their front foot goes, the rear foot goes in the exact same spot. So when you look at the tracks, it looks like something's walking on two legs. You'll see, you know, like a right one, then a left one, then a right one, then a left one. And it looks like something's walking on two legs. It's freaky looking. But if you look closer, because the back feet are smaller, you will see a track inside a track. So that's the rear foot going inside the track made by the front foot. So the rear right goes inside the track made by by the front right. So you've got that. Now here's how you tell if the cat is somebody's pet that's well fed, or if it's a feral cat. What I mean by feral cat is a cat that was either born out in the wild but it's a domestic cat, or a cat that was, you know, either escaped or got loose or was let loose and is now living in a wild way, feeding itself. Because the wild cats that feed themselves do this direct register. But look at these tracks here. They don't do that. So I'll show you that. You can see two tracks there. And this is the front, that's the rear. You can see on this one, that's the front, that's the front, that's the rear. On this one, front, rear. And you can tell right there, you can see very, very well the front's larger. And then here the cat stops because it's starting to smell what's going on right here. It's against the side of my house. But they're supposed to direct register, but you see two tracks. And that is very distinctive of a cat that is somebody's pet, that lives outside and is well fed, because they can't direct register because their stomach gets in the way. They're too stinking fat. They can't walk correctly. So that's the way you tell. It's pretty neat. The only other animal that direct registers like a cat would be a fox. And the way you tell the difference between a cat and a fox track is because a fox is a canine, it's a dog. The compression shape of that track is not a circle with a fox, it's that egg shape, and you will see the claws. So that's an easy way to tell the cat from the fox. So I hope you guys like this. This is very, very basic, but I mean, even though it's basic, this is still stuff that most people would have no idea about looking at a cat track. They'd have no idea how to know all those different things. So I hope you found that useful and pretty neat.